short Stoic Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Pain is not punishment, it's training. Just like lifting weights tears muscle to build strength, hardship tears your soul. To build resilience, you may not like the pain, but one day you'll be grateful for what it made of you. When you walk through storms with calm, when you face betrayal without losing compassion, when you fail and still rise, that's the strength Seneca was talking about. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." You could have riches, you could be admired, but if your thoughts are poisoned, you'll never taste joy. Change your mind, and your world changes with it. Not focus on what's in your control. Let go of what isn't. Train your mind to seek virtue, not validation. Peace, not perfection. And watch your life transform from the inside out. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." The world is noisy. Everyone tells you what you should be, but Epictetus flips it. You must decide first. Who do you want to be when no one's watching? Calm, brave, compassionate? Then act daily, quietly, relentlessly, because greatness isn't built in applause. It's built in consistency. Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." Courage is not the absence of fear. It's doing what's right even when fear is loud. When you do that, when you speak your truth, set your boundary, or walk away from what is safe but wrong, you become free. Free from regret, free from guilt, free from chains you once mistook for comfort. Be brave, because on the other side of fear is freedom. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." We don't need more opinions. We need more examples. While others debate, criticize, or pretend, you act, you help, you serve, you build, you rise. Because true Stoicism is not a theory. It's a way of living. Every moment is a chance to be what you admire in others. So don't explain what virtue is. Be it. Epictetus said, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." The greatest obstacle to wisdom is arrogance. When we think we already have the answers, we close the door to growth. But the Stoic opens himself daily to being wrong, to being corrected, to becoming better. So ask yourself, am I listening to grow, or just to defend what I already believe? The wisest man isn't the one who knows the most. It's the one who's always willing to learn more. Seneca said, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." People call it luck, but what they don't see are the silent hours. The preparation, the pain, the patience. You can't control when opportunity knocks, but you can be ready when it does. So train in silence. Discipline yourself when no one's watching, because when the moment comes, you won't need luck. You'll be ready. Marcus Aurelius said, "You could leave life right now." Let that determine what you do and say and think. Memento mori. Remember death, not as a fear, but as fuel. Live today with the awareness that it could be your last. Would you still waste time on petty arguments? Scroll mindlessly through noise? Delay telling someone you love them? The Stoics didn't fear death. They used it as motivation, as clarity, as a reminder that now is all we truly own. Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. We chase money, status, control over others. But true freedom, the Stoic reminds us, is internal. It's the ability to let go. To say, this is not mine to carry. To walk away from what steals your peace. Stop trying to control what isn't yours. Master what is. Your thoughts, your actions, your reactions. And you'll find the only freedom that truly lasts." Seneca said, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you. Your circle matters. Surround yourself with the bitter, and you'll absorb their poison. Walk with the undisciplined, and you'll lose your edge. But walk with the wise, and you'll grow. Not everyone deserves your presence. Not everyone sharpens your character. Choose wisely, because who you let into your life shapes who you become." Marcus Aurelius said, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. We live in a world of noise, opinions dressed as truth, fear disguised as facts. The Stoic trains his mind to step back, to ask, is this real? Or just someone else's perception? Before you react, question. Before you believe, investigate. Don't be a slave to others' narratives. Be a student of truth." Epictetus said, "Don't explain your philosophy. Embody it. You say you believe in strength. In virtue? In calm. Good. Then. Lit it. When someone cuts you off in traffic. When the deal falls through. When you're insulted, misunderstood, or overlooked. That's when philosophy becomes real. Not in your words, but in your choices. Let others talk about how stoic they are. You? Just be one. Seneca said, "As is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters." We are obsessed with more time, more years, more days. But what are you doing with the time you already have? A short life, lived with purpose, outshines a long one wasted in fear. The Stoic asks not, "How long will I live?" but, "Will I live today with courage?" Stop counting your years. Start making your days count. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have to assemble your life yourself, action by action." There is no single moment of greatness, no magical breakthrough, only 1,000 small, consistent steps. Get up when it's hard. Choose virtue when it's inconvenient. Do the next right thing again and again. That's how a Stoic builds an unshakable life. Not with flashes of glory, but with daily discipline. Epictetus said, "Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens." You're not powerless. Even when everything feels like it's falling apart, you can breathe, you can pause, you can choose how to respond. The Stoic doesn't waste energy on what can't be changed. He focuses on what can, so stop fighting. the storm, adjust your sail, and move forward. Seneca said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. Adversity reveals what comfort hides. Hardship is not a curse, it's your forge. The pain you face today, it's carving away what is false, what is weak, what holds you back." The Stoic understands. You don't become resilient by avoiding the fire. You become resilient by walking through it and coming out refined. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." You had a plan, and life got in the way. Now what? The Stoic answer. You don't quit. You adapt. The obstacle is not the end. It's the beginning. Every barrier is a hidden doorway. You were meant to take this detour, because sometimes what blocks the path becomes the path. Epictetus said, "Practice yourself, for heaven's sake, in little things, and thence proceed to greater." Discipline doesn't start in grand battles. It begins in the small choices, rising early, holding your tongue, finishing what you start. Train yourself in little things, and when life throws the big tests, you'll already be strong. The Stoic doesn't wait for crisis to build character. He prepares every day, quietly, relentlessly. Seneca said, "Begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life." You keep waiting for the right moment, for the fear to fade. But life is happening now. Treat today as its own life. Would you waste it? Would you delay love, courage, forgiveness? The Stoic doesn't wait to live fully. He begins now, because every sunrise is a chance to start over. Marcus Aurelius said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Virtue isn't complicated. It's clarity. If it's wrong, don't do it. If it's false, don't say it. No excuses. No, just this once. No hiding behind what others do. The Stoic leads with integrity, even when no one is watching. Especially then. Epictetus said, "Keep silence for the most part, and speak only when you must, and then briefly." The world is loud. Everyone speaks. Few listen. But the Stoic learns in silence. He speaks with intention. And when he does, his words carry weight. Don't waste your voice on noise. Use it when it matters. Speak less, mean more. Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Time is not your enemy. Distraction is. Every scroll, every complaint, every delay, it adds up. The Stoic guards time like gold, because it is. You may not get another week, but you do have this moment. So ask yourself, are you living or just passing time? Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." What you think, you become. Think of peace, and you begin to live peacefully. Think of anger, and your spirit becomes dark. Your mind is the brush. Your thoughts are the paint. Your life, the canvas. Choose wisely what colors you use, because over time, they become you. Epictetus said, Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. You don't need more. You need less desire. True wealth is needing less to be content. It's finding peace with simplicity. It's detaching from the lie that happiness is out there. The Stoic doesn't chase fortune. He builds his fortune in contentment. And once you desire less, you'll discover you already have enough. Seneca said, "You act like mortals in all that you fear, and like immortals in all that you desire. You panic over losses, over pain, over death, yet you delay the important things. You put off your dreams. You waste your days." The Stoic reverses this. He fears nothing but time wasted. He doesn't act like he'll live forever. He lives like every moment matters. And because of that, he's more alive.